Well, good afternoon, New York Jet fans and NFL fans. It is Sunday, 9/24/2023, 4:42 p.m., and we're about half hour of, you know, post Jet loss. 1-2 in the division, 0-15 versus the Patriots since that 2015 December win that we had in overtime. Um, Another number, 8-4. First half, 8 punts, 4 first downs. Terrible, terrible, terrible product put on this field. I don't get it. You you follow this team, and it's 10 years, 50 years, 30 years, whatever it is, and you have memories. You have your good times, you have your bad times. You have your I met this player, I sat in these seats, or what have you. You meet you meet friends at the game. You know that become family, what have you, everything like that, and you always hope for that championship. And for most Jet fans right now, it is as close as they thought it was 4 weeks ago. It's not there. We're not even close. Last week, New York Sports Talk asked if you're going to the game on Sunday, support Zach. Let him hear you cheer. That's all you can do. Let him know he has your back. Let him know you have his back. Now, I will say this: I did not go to the game today. It is very rare that I'll miss a game. Um, Between the rain yesterday and me running around and being waterlogged to the rain this morning, um, up until 10:30 this morning, we were going to the game. And honestly, we're usually at the stadium by 10, the latest. So I said, the rain, all this, we'll take our time. We're not going to tailgate, and we'll just go and enjoy the game. By quarter to 10 or so, rain was coming down. It was hard. The wind. I was like, you know what? We bite the bullet, and we watch the game from the comfort of our own house. And we wound up doing some productive stuff here in the house, and then we watch the game from our jet room, our family room. Uh, Fans, from what I hear from the TV, sounded like they were cheering for Zach when he went out there, but there was nothing to cheer for, and you can only ask so much. At one point, you had Jim Nance and Tony Romo who called the game, saying that maybe it's time to make a change at quarterback. Um, Zach just does not see the field well. Um, he was under some pressure, even with Dwayne Brown sidelined and the offensive line kind of shifted around. He had some pressure, but a lot of the things that wreaked havoc, besides the defense of the Patriots, was Zach's legs to his own team. There were times where he turned to his left to avoid a rush that wasn't developed yet, and he missed a wide open Garrett Wilson coming across the field, or he missed an open Brees Hall. Brees Hall, by the way, who complained last week that he didn't have the ball enough times, touched the ball today 12 times, got 18 yards. He averaged 1.2 yards a carry. Okay. Um, Zach Wilson, his numbers, I mean, nothing spectacular. Zach was, and I'll just bring it up right now. Zach was 18 of 36, 157 yards. So he averaged less than 10 yards a pass. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't get any interceptions. He had one good drive late in the fourth quarter, a little bit too late. And, in typical Jet Zach Wilson quarterback fashion, Sam Donald fashion, Smith fashion, what have you, after getting them within a field goal, okay, and showing that they could bring the ball down the field. They go 87 yards, they score a touchdown on a fullback run, which Nathaniel Hackett pulled, a play nobody thought of, and the Jets get the ball back, and they end up getting a safety against them. So now they're down, instead of down by 3, they're down by 5. and the Patriots have to get the ball now on a free kick, and the Jets kick the ball off, and the punter kicks it 75 yards in the air, and now the Jets still have life down into the last play on a Hail Mary where the ball is tipped just maybe 12 inches away from it was either Lazard or Cobb. I think it was Lazard, and the game ended 15-10. And they're now 1-2 in the division, 0-15 against the Patriots, and they're spiraling. This, to me, all falls on coaching. Okay, it falls on play calling, and there was frustration on the sideline. Garrett Wilson, you could see, was frustrated. I don't know if he was yelling at Zach or at the offensive coordinator. You had Michael Carter yelling at a coach. And then you had them talking to Zach and patting Zach on the back. Zach on the sidelines, and I said this during the game, did not look frazzled. He was smiling. He was sitting there. I remember back in the day, with Sanchez, he'd come off the field and he'd just sit down like this, and nobody would talk to him. And at least here, Boyle, I believe, was talking to him. And listen, I do not think Zach is going to make it here. Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh need to put their tail between their legs, take their ego out of the way, and you know what? Realize that you blew a second pick of the draft and move on. Okay? Can he learn? Yes. I was reading, on Twitter today, and I'm not going to name names of, a local sports reporter saying, you know, maybe he would have learned playing behind Aaron Rodgers, but he has no vision. He has no field vision. And a quarterback who can't see open receivers on the field is a useless quarterback. Okay? You could throw it a mile, but if you can't hit the target, it doesn't matter how far you throw it. That being said, just tweeted by Connor Hughes. I'm going to say Connor Hughes because I know that's exactly who it is. Robert Saleh said that Zach Wilson is his starting quarterback going forward. So the Jets have a little bit of a longer week. They have a Sunday night game next week. They don't have a one, they don't have a four, they have a Sunday night game. They have a few hours left more to prepare for Kansas City, Pat Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. Look, you know, I plan on going. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Chiefs fans there. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Pat Mahomes fans and Kelsey fans there. Who knows? Taylor Swift may even show up. Taylor Swift is going to be in KC today at his game. But, but, something needs to be done because we went from a top six favorite to a bottom two team. We could be 1-3 after 4 weeks. Now, after 6 weeks, I said I'll take 3-3. If we're 1-3 after next week, that means we have to win the next two, and that's, I believe, Denver and Philadelphia. I'm actually very upset. I know I'm not yelling. I think if I would have been able to get out of the house and do a rapid reaction, I would be yelling. I'd be very emotional the way I'm speaking. But I have a house full of people right now. You know, my family is home. A friend of the family with my girls is upstairs. And I cannot be screaming and yelling and carrying on because when I saw the way the Jet defense played, and they played okay, but I saw how they weren't able to get to Mac Jones or anything like that. And I saw the way the offense was being called. I knew we didn't have a shot unless we had a special teams play. And Gibson had some nice returns, but nothing like he did Monday night. And that was, lightning in a bottle. But right now, this team is dead in the water. And I'm going to call it dead in the water. I don't know what this team is going to do. I'm already talking about, okay, we draft a quarterback, and you have Aaron Rodgers, play hopefully for 2 years, seeing how he comes back from this injury, and who's our new coach? Who's our new coach? And I joked, and I said, you know what? The way this team goes, they're going to try to make a splash at coach, and instead of getting somebody, and I don't want to hear about Sean Payton, but Sean Payton right now is 0-3 in Denver, I believe. Okay, they gave up 70 points to the Dolphins today. But can you imagine Deion Sanders, the coach of the New York Jets? That is Rex Ryan, Herm Edwards, um, just all balled into one. you want to talk circus, the way they used to look at Rex's press conferences and Herm's press conferences, they're going to want for prime time. And it'll be all about Dion, and it won't be about this team. And you know what? This team does not need that. This team needs a coach to come in and give him a smack in the ass. I can remember watching it. I have probably every video yearbook, whether it's on DVR, VCR, or DVD. Okay, and I can remember the Jets, the year that Parcells took over. They're in a preseason game, and Parcells is yelling at them. That's why you were 1-15 last year. Okay, I've seen Parcells yell at Phil Simms. I've seen Parcells yell at his linemen. The guys that were his boys. That's the kind of coach you need. This team right now, they want a player's coach. I'm tired of bringing in the next best guy. You're not. You got to remember when the Patriots hired Bill Belichick. Okay, he had coached the head coaching job of Cleveland Browns, and he was starting to get that organization moving until they literally moved. And then he went and he became a a coordinator for many years. Under Parcells. So to say you're gonna take Todd Bowles, okay, to say you're gonna take um, 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 you know Todd Bowles, Rex Ryan, and I like Rex and Herm Edwards and Al Groh, and I mean you want to say Pete Carroll. I mean Pete Carroll. It took Pete Carroll to go from the Jets to San Fran to USC, back to the NFL. I mean, very rarely do you take a coach that comes out as a coordinator on his first head coaching job to be extremely successful. Okay, and with a franchise that hasn't won in 50 plus years, you need somebody to that is established. Okay, it is like once Aaron Rodgers went down, the defense knew how to play defense. Sauce forgot how to play cornerback. Brees Hall forgot how to run. Okay, I almost feel like that Monday night game, the players didn't realize that Rodgers was lost for the season, and the hype and everything was still around the team, and they played with their hearts, and they 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 just grinded out a win, and now they realize, and I don't think they have any ill feelings towards Zach, or maybe they do, you know, but it's almost like they felt like they have no hope. My daughter is watching the game and she's like, if I'm Quinny there, if I'm Mosley, if I'm this one, I'm just so beat up by this. And I'm like, I get it. I know it's their job. I know they get paid whether they win or lose, but you don't want to be a laughing stock. Basically, this whole week now it's going to be 0-15 to Belichick, and we faced them the last game of the season. Okay, it's going to be 1-2. It's going to be Zach can't do it. And listen, today's weather kept this game close. I said it before. Okay, who knows what Mac Jones would have did in good weather? They were 0-2. I mean, I don't know, but Zach, even when he had a clean pocket, did not look at that field and see it open or see the open receiver, and that's what bothers me. Um, I just don't know. You went into the season feeling like it was too good to be true, you know, and you have these vibes around the team, and you didn't have these vibes since 2010. You know, um, people forget the Jets and the Cowboys were predicted to go to the Super Bowl in 2011, and the Jets were 8-5. Okay, and just everything unraveled. But you didn't have this positive because with Rex after 2011, you had Geno Smith and Tim Tebow, and Sanchez got hurt, and Sanchez left, and all of that, and it's just you kind of lost that edge that you had with Rex, a la 2009, 2010, and then you have Todd Bowles come in, and Bowles beats the Patriots his first year, and we're winning games, and you say, all right, you know what? maybe we need a breath of fresh air, and we beat Patriots overtime, and then we go to Buffalo and we lose to Buffalo. We get swept by Rucks, and it's like what is this team doing? When will we learn? And then you go from Bowles to Adam Gase, and you go from Adam Gase now to Rob Saleh in his third year. And look, I know the first year with Saleh um, was the first year, I believe. Um, was it the first year after COVID? So the 2020 season was shut down. I think 2021, 2022. Yeah, so that was Gase was the 2020 season with Donald. Then you had 2021. Um, what was I'm trying to remember because it was that one year where Sam was seeing ghosts and whatnot. Maybe that was 19. But when, and I'm not blaming Woody Johnson because I truly believe that Woody Johnson wants to win. I don't think he's just an owner that wants to collect money because the more you win, the more exposure you get. Now, the Jets had a lot of exposure this year. Having Aaron Rodgers, helped with that. But now look at this team. I cannot fathom for the life of me what it's like to be a player or to be a coach or to be an owner. Because as a fan, this is going to eat at me for 2 or 3 days. Okay, I'm going to get up tomorrow and I know we're going to be 1-2, and I'm going to know that we're playing Kansas City. Okay, and I know that Zach is a starter, and nothing against Zach, but he just does not have it. He does not have it, and I can't tell you that as a Jet fan, you go into every game hoping you win, but then there's that little thing behind your head that's saying, with this kid, you don't have a shot. In baseball, you have 9 innings. You have 27 outs. In football, you have 60 minutes, but it's as many plays as you can put in there as well. Like in baseball, how many plays can I get in before I get those 3 outs? How many runs can I get across the board? When you play football, you could score on all facets of the game, special teams, offense and defense. So you could score every second, every minute of the game. But the season is slipping away. And to say, let's go out and get Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan or anybody in 3 weeks from now when we're 1-5 or maybe you know 2-4, what are they going to do? I just, as a Jet fan, I do not know what's going to happen with this team, other than right now, in my heart of hearts and my gut of gut, and I hope I'm wrong, we are not going to do well. If we get to 4 wins this year now, it'll be a lot the way they're playing. We still have to face Buffalo again, and now Buffalo, okay, is 2-1. Okay, after we beat them, they won the last two, and they put points up on the board. We have to face Miami twice. We have New England again at the end of the year. We have the Eagles. We have Kansas City. We have Denver. We have the Chargers. We have the Raiders. Uh, we have the Browns. We have the Texans. I'm looking at the NFC. We have Washington. We have yeah. We have no. We face Dallas, Philly. We have the Giants. I mean, it's just, and then we have Atlanta. So it's not an easy task. And even with Aaron Rodgers, this defense would never, you know, I don't know. I don't know. The defense can only do so much, but they're not doing enough, if that makes sense. And maybe Aaron Rodgers would extend the plays, and maybe Aaron Rodgers would be different play calls. But at this point, 3 seasons into this kid's career, okay, you have to do something. Is it the Jets themselves that they can't nurture and they can't evolve a quarterback, because Geno Smith is having a better career away from the Jets? I mean, I don't know. Well, anyway, that is my gloomy Sunday report. I won't do one tomorrow. If anything happens during the week, I'll do feeling ill. When I yawn, I'm stressed. And but if not, we'll do a preview probably on either Thursday or Friday. Um, and that's where we are now. So the Jets are 1-2. Zach Wilson will remain quarterback. And you know, who knows what happens this year? I really I don't know what happens, except that right now the excitement and everything is just drawn at him. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is the Takeoff. You can reach us on Twitter at the Jets Takeoff is our Twitter handle. You could reach us by email at the Jets Takeoff at gmail.com. We are on TikTok at the New York Jets Takeoff. We are on Instagram at the Jets Takeoff. And of course, you can follow us. Please subscribe. You'll get alerts when my videos come up. I try to do 1 to 2 a week, if not more. Last week I think I did 3 or 4. And that is here on YouTube. The Takeoff is the account. At the Jets Takeoff is the channel name or channel handle. Have a great week. Have a great rest of your week. Have a blessed week. Have a blessed week, whichever you say it. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And hopefully this rain and this doom and gloom kind of, pulls away.